Allen, Texas, at the Central Processing Center, one of America's largest immigration processing facilities. Men, women, and children wrapped in mylar blankets as a means to stay warm. This 1 minute, 34-second video, along with these images released today by U.S. Customs and Border Protection, are among the few visuals we have that provide a glimpse into America's immigration crisis currently unfolding along the southern border. We just finished the tour inside the facility, and it was really almost overwhelming. Yesterday, I was a part of a group of journalists permitted inside that center, but our own cameras were not allowed. There was a lot of people, men held in one part of the facility, boys in another section, and then there were moms with their children in another part of the facility. This is the center we were allowed to see. For many detainees, it is the first stop after being apprehended. Some families could be separated here or at another facility. It is images like these that have now become a flashpoint in the Trump administration's zero-tolerance policy, calling for parents and their children to be separated if the parents have crossed the border illegally. And now, in a recording first obtained by ProPublica, you can hear the desperate sobbing of children from one day last week. Tell us how you got a hold of this recording that purports to be audio of kids being separated from their parents.
Well, you can listen to it, and it's pretty clear what it is. I know the whistleblower. The whistleblower was just horrified by the sound of the children weeping, as is everybody else, and made a recording of it, and came to me for legal advice, and asked me if I would forward it to Ginger Thompson of ProPublica and release it to the public, and I've done so.
Customs and Border Protection has declined to comment on this audio because much of what's happening is playing out in closed-door facilities across the almost 2,000-mile border. We are relying on the first-hand accounts of people who have experienced these centers. A snapshot of this crisis. Antar Davidson worked as a counselor at Estrella del Norte, a government-contracted shelter in Tucson, Arizona.
These were 3 Brazilian siblings who had been separated from their mother the night prior. They were the 2 younger siblings were holding the older brother for support, and he was crying. I said to him at this point, I said, "Bro, you need to be strong. I know this is difficult, but you need to kind of be strong for your siblings." And he looks at me with tears streaming in his face, and he says, How can I be strong? I don't know where my mom is.
Wow.
Look at my siblings. I can't do anything. They're trying to separate us. To which I could only respond by putting my head down.
The idea that
Wow, I just wanted to see that part. So let's move this to the side. Woo! I was on the fence if I even wanted to do this reading because it's a very emotional topic. One, it's very personal. You know, for anyone who's a parent, this is definitely a hard pill to swallow. And knowing that I'm not from here, it's not easy to watch that video or see those pictures. I almost cried. Like, my heart was crying for these kids. Like, wow. They had these kids in a camp. You know, in a camp without their parents. Maybe I should use this one. Hold on, guys. Nothing here. Separated from their parents. I couldn't imagine being separated from my mom or dad at that age. For no apparent reason at all. So we're going to get into the immigration kids and see what's going on with that. Are these kids ever going to be set free? With the immigration law change? You know, I just want If you guys have questions, you can comment your questions below. Give me 1 second. If you guys have questions, you can. Yep, I can hear myself. All right, so put your comments below. So let's get into it. Should I use this deck? Spirits are like, nah. Angels are like, nah, use a different deck. Let me use Bonfire. I just want to know. First of all, I want to know, will the kids be released to their parents? That's the first thing I want to know. Yeah. Will these kids be released to their parents? Okay. How y'all doing? I hope you guys are well. Look at the first card that came out. This is very sad card right here. This is the Five of Cups. Lost. This is how the kids felt. Even before I went live, I was hearing a lot of kids cry. And they were speaking Spanish, but I didn't understand what they were saying. I was like, I don't understand. Yeah. So let's move on. So yeah, I feel like these children are really, really sad. They're not in a good headspace. Even the parents. There's a lot of loss. There's a lot of loss. I'm also seeing changes in this loss as well. Would the kids ever be released to their parents? Yeah. Justice will prevail. As you can see, this is the parents. This is a mother. Could even be a father. As you can see, you see the baby in the womb. The parents are really sad. I feel like they cry all the time. And there's going to be justice in this situation. I feel like eventually the kids will be released to their parents. Eventually, but I feel like it's going to be dragged. It's going to be dragged. I told you eventually they will release the kids to the parents. The sadness returning to happiness at some point. It might not look promising right now. It might not look that way right now. But I feel like things would change. I also feel like the law would change. Immigration law is going to change about the kids, which is going to bring a new emotional fulfillment. I can't even talk. An emotional fulfillment, you know, to everyone, to the community, to the justice system. Okay, I feel like this is going to be good news. I'm thinking probably next year. I'm thinking next year. That's what I saw. Next year. Yep, next year there's going to be an enlightenment towards this. I don't know if Donald Trump is a Virgo. I feel like through this situation too, he's going to receive some type of enlightenment. Because he knows that this was not a good move. He knows this is not a good move. I don't know who the hell told you to do it. Six of Swords. I'm getting the sense like when they're released to their parents, they might decide to go back home. This might be deportation. Hold on, let me turn this down. I'm hearing deportation. They will all be deported. They should have done that in the first place instead of locking them up in a camp. I almost cried reading this. Yeah. The kids will be released to their parents at some point. I was going to ask if the law was going to change. I'm also seeing these kids being transported. I don't know where the hell they're going. I see kids being transported. I'm seeing them in this long ass containers. Also, another message that I'm receiving from the angels is a lot of bad things happen to these kids, y'all, that the news does not talk about. That's behind the scenes. I remember I did a video on my group. I think it was in January. And I was doing a reading on the year. I did a reading on the year, the prediction of the year, with the government and the president and all that good stuff. And I said something is going on with kids. And they in Houston. I feel like this camp is in Houston. So someone correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like it's in Houston, this camp. There's cameras everywhere. Okay? There are people in uniform walking around, pacing, walking around to ensure very, very strict and tight watch on these children. You can't even try to think of escaping because it's so tight in there. They watch your every move. If you're going to pee, they follow you. If you're going to take a shot, they follow you. Eat, they're right there. Every time. So, I don't know if I should even tell you what's going on with these kids. I don't know if I even want to say it because it's horrible. It's horrible. I'm seeing things done to these kids that are not nice. I'm seeing a society or some type of occultism society, okay? Some of these kids, were used. Whew. Take a deep breath. Some of these kids were used for sacrifice. Okay? Some of these kids were raped, beaten, I'm seeing rape. Somebody drinking blood. This is getting too deep for me. I don't know if I want to see that. I don't know if I want to see that. I don't know if I want to see that. These kids are not, that camp is not good. Someone is pressuring Trump to change his mind. They're trying to negotiate. Six of Pentacles here. They're trying to negotiate here. Six of Pentacles. I'm seeing some bad. I don't even know if I want to see that. This caused a lot of turmoil in United States. And I also feel like this also opened the gate for other countries to be able to do this. I'm here in Syria. This opened the gate for other countries to feel like they could do the same thing and get away with it. And this is not right. This is unjust. And this is not fair. Because other countries are copying what he's doing. Other people are copying him. They're copying him. Other countries. And it's causing a chaotic explosion here. Heartbreak, devastation. I feel like there's some people in the Congress and Democrats are fighting to change the laws, to change the direction of the laws here when it comes to immigration. I don't know who in the world gave them this idea. I'm hearing Pence. You talking about the I think Pence is what, the vice president, if I'm not mistaken. Why he doesn't have that type of? Does he have that type of power to do so? I mean, Pence. Because somebody gave him this idea to do this. And I heard Pence. Oh, I don't know his name, so if I'm not saying his name right, comment below. But I'm hearing Pence and other people involved. Behind the scenes. Behind the scenes. There's going to be a lot of fights to sign this bill that's going to work out. In order to get this Ace of Cups, in order to get this ace to this good place, to this sweet place, there's going to be a lot of chaotic mess going on. Destruction. Causing an imbalance to the country. Okay? All this is going to happen before we get here. This year is a year of endings and new beginnings. Okay? 2019. 9 plus 1 is what? 10. Endings and new beginnings. Something's gonna change. Yep, happiness, joy, family coming together. Yeah. Yep, there's going to be a change in the laws. Thank goodness for that. There's going to be changes in the laws that's going to help the immigrants and those who have papers, who have documentations as well. Things are going to change. I don't know who the governor is from Houston. I don't know who the governor is in that part of Houston. If you can, you could put their name below. But I feel like there's going to be governors and Democrats that are going to come with a different opportunity that's going to allow for this bill to pass in order to bring families to this fulfillment, because I feel like this caused a lot of chaos. Separating the children from their parents was a big deal. The world did not like it at all. The world did not like it at all. And these bad things happening to these kids, they barely eat. They barely eat. They're not taking care of these kids. They're not taking care of these kids. I'm seeing August. August of next year. Things will change. August of next year, things will change. Yep, things will change. There's going to be a new opportunity that's going to allow these kids to be freed. The country is going through transformation. I said that in my prediction as well. Things are going to change for sure. The will is going to change. Yep, victory. Victory in the end. Victory for the people, the immigrants. Victory, victory, victory. I pray that they receive this victory, because I'm telling you, there are things happening behind the scenes. As you can see, the moon. I don't know who Donald Trump advisor is. Whoever that person is needs to be fired. Because they're not leading them in the right directions here. Okay? They're not leading them in the right directions. And there are things happening in the scenes. I said kid sacrifice, but you guys don't have to believe me. When it's time for you to see. Something is going on with Donald Trump's child. Donald Trump's child and his home. Something's going on with that. Yeah. I'm seeing an ending. There might even be an ending to his presidency. So let's see how this thing goes. I'm seeing ending to his presidency. Even if you try to run again. If Donald Trump wins, it was in default. Okay? If Donald Trump wins the election again, just like he won this election, who was supposed to actually win was Hillary. Okay? But there was some bribes, paid people. Paid people do things. There's going to be an ending to something, an ending to his relationship, an ending to his presidency. He's not going to be president for too long. Okay? Mark my words. This is going to bring happiness to the people. This is going to bring happiness to the people. Alright? This was not that long. I just wanted to do a quick reading on the kids. I wanted to see if they're ever going to be free. That's all I cared about to do this video. Okay, and I do see victory in the end, an ending to a rough time, an ending to being betrayed. Betrayer. I'm seeing somebody's life ending too. That's another thing that I'm seeing. Uh-oh. 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 know somebody's about to die, but I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna predict his death. But I do see ending. I sure do see ending. All right, guys. That's what I have for the immigrant kids. Again, thank you guys for tuning in. I'll come back and do videos for other people, and I'm going to start doing the sign reading so for March. So it's coming soon.